let's get the viewing started. Damn. Yeah, so guys, thank you very much for the likes. I said damn. It's working. All right, so guys, I'm about to let's get set up before we begin this particular episode, right? So if this is your first time here, don't worry. Every day when we come, we'll get to set up before we begin the development and everything. So let me set up the other screen, and then we can move to our session. Why are you not loading, man? Are we live? Are we live on YouTube? Yeah, I think we should be. We should be live on YouTube. So what is going on? Yeah. Let's go back to our design. Yeah, so we are live on YouTube, guys. And thank you very much for the likes, guys. Thank you very much for all the likes. I appreciate them. Yeah, I appreciate all the likes. Thank you very much. Whoa, Crystal, thank you for the follow. Guys, we've gotten our first follower for the day. I think we are done now. Yeah, we've gotten our first follower, so I think we are done now. We can close, yeah? Oh, damn, Rich Cyber. Rich Cyber, thank you very much for the follow. Guys, we are live, right? We are live on YouTube. If you are watching currently on a different platform, we are live on YouTube, and then you can check it out and be part of the channel. Don't forget, when you get there, the first thing you do is to sub. After subbing, then we jump into business. So don't forget that too. Yeah, I think I'm almost done. So let's we'll be getting started shortly. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, because it's about to get crazy. Yeah, so where do we begin from? We have to take a look at our UI, and then we decide what we are going to build, right? Guys, thank you very much for the likes. Yeah, so no time to waste, and let's jump onto the UI. Yeah, so this is what we have, right? When we start the app runs, but the splash screen shows this particular screen. It shows the screen, and then afterwards it shows this progress indicator. After some time, then it takes us to the onboarding. After the onboarding, we move to sign up. After sign up, we show an error. If there may be an error on the sign up screen, we show that error, and then from there we show the success. If every if every input field is okay, we show the success, and then we can move to login as well. Login, same thing, login error, and then login success, and if possible, we do reset password before episode 2 ends. Guys, if you're watching, don't forget to reshare, don't forget to like, and don't forget to comment. And if you're not following, please follow and subscribe. Yeah, so let's get to business. Are you ready? Let's roll up our sleeves, because we are about to do something crazy. We are about to code something crazy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so where do we begin from? Where do we start from? Damn. Yeah, so we are beginning from here. Yeah, we are beginning from here. Okay, this looks okay. I think, yeah, this is pretty much cool. I can manage this. Yeah, so let me jump in here, and then let's take a look. Yeah, so the first things, okay, this is not this is my personal app that I'm using. I have to change this. We are going to StyleX. So someone gave the name StyleX, and I think StyleX makes sense, because it's about styling the product or project. It's about styling boutique and all those things. So yeah, StyleX isn't a bad name. So yeah, I think that name is very perfect. We can work with that. Yeah. Okay. So the first thing we do is to run our app, run it, make sure it is working, and then we move on from there. So go in here and then start the running, and let's get the running started. Back we see, I see you guys. For everyone that is joining, don't forget to like, don't forget to reshare, and don't forget to subscribe. Those of you that haven't subscribed yesterday, today is a chance for you to subscribe. Really? Oh, really? It's moving. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so guys, whilst I wait for Dixon to drop his question, I think we can already begin doing something. Yeah, so if we should stop the app and rerun, we realize that the splash screen, right, the splash screen is already there. It's looking good, but according to the UI, we have to build a custom one, which after this, it will reload, right, show the circular progress indicator for some time before we move to the screen. Yeah, so this is what it shows, and this is what we would have to do. We would need this and any other item. Yeah, so first things first, let's go into our page, and we would have to clean all this. We would have to clean all this from here. Right, we would have to clean all this from here, then we can build our home screen, right? Yeah, so let's take this off, remove all this. We are not going to use it. Remove all this and close this, and let's also take this off. So we can have this as our material page app, we can have this as our material app, then we begin the build from here, or we can also do something else if we want to do. But let's just have the material for now and do some few stuff that are very important. So first things first, we will create a directory called features. So inside of the features directory, that is where we are going to put all our app features, all the features that we will be building, the screens, the whatever we are building, which is a feature on its own, is going to go into the features folder. So we'll be starting with the first screen, which would be the splash screen. We'll create a feature for the splash screen, a feature directory, which will be splash screen. We'll create onboarding, and then we'll move on from there. Richmond, thank you very much for the follow, and Abbas, thank you very much for the gifts. But you said I should wait. Yeah, so you were talking about Spindix, and I seriously haven't heard of it before. Seriously, I haven't heard of Spindix, and I don't know what it's about. I don't know what it's about. I seriously don't know what it's about. Yeah, if it is a new app, if it is a game or something that is new in the system, I have no idea about it, and I don't know what it does. So maybe you can tell us what Spindix is in the comment section, then we can talk about it, because I have no idea. If any of you have an idea of what Spindix is, please put it in the comment section, and then let me learn something new today. Guys, thank you very much for the follow. Amit Afar. So what are we doing? We are building the splash screen. Thank you very much. Yeah, so let's build our first screen, which will be the splash screen, right? So create a directory called the splash screen, like this, and then inside of the splash screen, if you are watching on TikTok and you don't have access to the full screen, please, you can move inside of the channel, right? The YT channel. I'm live on the YT channel, so in there you should have access to the full display and every part of the screen. Yeah, guys, thank you very much for the follow. Yeah, so our first screen is going to be the splash screen. It will be like this. And this screen is going to be a stateful widget. We can have it as a stateless widget. Let's have this now, and let's call it a splash screen. Yeah. All right. So after creating this, we can have a material. We can import our material package. Then everything should be okay. Yeah, so from here we would be returning the splash screen as the home screen, or just the screen, the first screen that will display if when we run the app. So assuming we have this, if we should rerun the app, we are gonna have this as our splash screen. Yeah, so from here the next thing we will do is to return the scaffold like this. So if we return the scaffold, we are gonna have the white background now. And then the next thing is to, let me rearrange all this so that we can access it very well. So yeah. So the next thing is to have the scaffold background. So we are going to set a background color for our scaffold to the background color of this. Yeah, I'm not sure this is completely black. Yeah, this is like a primary 900 or something like that. So we can have a constant color of this like this. So this becomes our scaffold background looking this way. Yeah, so that is cool. That is looking good already. So far we've started something beautiful. Please, if you are watching and you haven't subscribed yet, I would want you to do that, because the subscription is very important. Oh my god, it is very important. Yeah, so please just do that for us and do it for me. Yeah, so after the scaffold, the next thing we would have to do is to create three things, right? We are going to create column. Column is going to have this image. After this image, we are going to have this. Then after this, we would have this. But what would happen, right? What I think would happen is something crazy. But before then, let us create all these images, and then you would see for yourself what the issue might be. Yeah, so let me have this, and then let's go in here. Yeah, so we are going to create a body for this column, for the scaffold, and the body is going to be a column, right? And column would have children. The first child is going to be an image, followed by another image, and then followed by the circle avatar, right? The circular avatar. So in order to use those images, we would have to download this onelash.dev. Thank you very much for the follow, Amitafar. Yeah, no, this is Android Studio. This is not Xcode, Android Studio. Yeah. So guys, let's take this background, this beautiful background, and then make use of it. Thank you guys for the follow. Kotlin, this is Flutter. This is Flutter, not Kotlin. Yeah, so where is this? And then we have this element. Yeah, that's correct. So after picking this, we have our assets already. So what we have to do is to create the images assets. All right, an asset called images, and then we will drop this in here. All right, so we can have this as element background or element line, let's say line background. Okay. How do you organize your code base? Yeah, so I normally use feature based. Alright, so I normally do my folder structuring using the feature based folder structuring. So each feature goes into a separate directory, just like how you are saying we have features as the parent, the root directory for all features, and then we have splash screen. So the splash screen feature so the splash screen feature goes directly into the splash screen, and then any other widget that is related to the splash screen stays in the splash screen feature. So I use this feature based structuring. Yeah, so that's about how do you organize your code base. Unfortunately, I can't read any other language apart from English. Black Africa, sorry. Do you use any design pattern? MVVM. MVVM is what I've been using most of the time. Yeah, bro, how are you following MVVM architecture? Yeah, most of the time I am always on the MVVM. So model view model architecture. Without state management, please. Okay, state management is gonna be Riverport. State management is gonna be Riverport. Alright, so the next thing from here, we would have to just point to our images in this section in our pubspec.yaml so that we can use the images. Bro, so let me explain what we are doing. The app we are building is being built using step-by-step implementation. So it's basically for people that are learning and people that are starting. So the stuff are being taken one step at the other. As you can see, as I'm about to add images, now that I'm about to display how we add images. Right, so it's like a step-by-step thing. I can't put all the things at once. So if you follow what we are doing episode by episode, all the questions you are asking will be answered at the end of the day. Yeah, so that is how we are doing it. So far, we are going to be using Riverport, but no Riverport has been added. We are going to be dealing with MVVM stuff, but I haven't added that one yet. So it's a step-by-step thing. Yeah. What's the language you're using and what app are you building and used for? Yeah, so I'm building in Dart, right? Dart, and this is Flutter, the Flutter SDK that we are using for the app. And also, this app is just someone named this Styles app, StyleX, because this is the whole UI. It's just gonna be an app that we use to learn stuff about Flutter. So we are going to use this to learn as an opportunity or an open door to learn about state management. We are going to use it to learn about stuff. So it's not going to be live, although it will be on the YouTube channel with the code, right, the GitHub repo and all that. We are not going to host it anyway. So we are just building it to learn something. If you are interested in building something similar, then you can just clone the repo and make use of it. Apart from that, we're just building to learn. Yeah, guys, thank you all for the support. Thank you all for the follows. Thank you very much. Yeah, so let's code and let's build something. Yeah, so we would specify our images, which is going to be assets/images, right? So we would have that, and then we can run our pub-get. And then we can run our pub-get. Yeah, so after pub-get, we should be able to use images inside of our app. So let's try that and see. In here, we would need image.assets, right? So we will need an image from the asset folder or a local image. So we're just going to run image.asset widget and pick the path reference of this particular section. Guys, thank you very much for the follows. If you are very much interested in what we do, don't forget to check out the main channel where everything goes. All right, so this is where everything goes after here. Please don't forget to check it out, and when you get there, just drop that subscription. Yeah, so rerun the app and let's see. So you can see this is our image now. The line that we have on the screen, this line that we have here, it's exactly what we have here now. So the next thing is to get this icon to be in the center of the screen, and then afterwards we can move on to this. Yeah, okay. So let's try out something. right? I have the icon somewhere. I don't know if I can remember where I left it. I don't know if I can remember where I left it. Yes, the name is StyleX app icon, so we should be able to see that. Guys, thank you very much for the likes. Yeah, so this is the app icon. This is the app icon. We'll just copy the icon. Yeah, then go to this section. Inside of assets, we are going to have a new directory called icons, right? Our new directory is going to be icons, and then we drop this particular icon in here. Since we've added this new directory, we also have to specify it inside of our pubspec, right? So we can have this and then call this icons. Yeah, after here, you either click pub.get to refresh the app state, or you can just do Flutter pub get, then all should work. So now we can print elements or display elements from our icons folder. Yeah, so it's just gonna be the same way, but this one we can now call something like image icon. So to use the icon, we can call image icon, and then we call assets image. Inside of assets image, we will specify the location of this particular asset, which is gonna be this, right? So we just put it in here and then rerun and see what we are gonna get. So this becomes our icon. Hard, thank you very much for the follow. Amitafar. Yeah, so the next thing we are going to do is create size. Now we can increase the size of the icon very big, and then also change the color to something like white. Yeah, tech bro, welcome to the house. It's good to have you guys. It's good to have you guys around. Hopefully we are going to connect and always build together. Yeah, so let's increase the icon size. On the UI, it's something like 138. So let me see. This is how big it is on the UI. Yeah, so that is our icon. The next thing, right, is gonna be this CircularProgressIndicator. If we rerun, then we are gonna have something like this. And what we have to do is to change the color to white. Alright, if we change the color to white, we are going to change the stroke width to, let's say, 2px. That is not huge, that is not big enough. So let me see, if we have it as 8, how big is it going to be? Yeah, let's see. That is what we have. And let's also check some few stuff. We have padding, we have constraints, and then we have the alignment, we have the value color, we have background color, and all those blah 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 blah. Yeah, so what we can do is to do the constraints, right? So let me call on the constraints, and let's say box constraints, and let's check the, do you like trail movies? Kindly check my pin. Okay, that's not to me. So let's check the minimum height and also the maximum height for this. Yeah, so minimum height is saying 56.0. That is what it's saying. And then the max width, it's also saying that. Which language? This is that. This is that. So I'm trying to see if we can get something crazy out of this. This is that, guys. Why is my fan making noise? I have this down here that I have to change. Yeah, so now we have this. But one thing about this, right? One thing about this design is when you check on the UI, our icon, right? Our icon is right in the middle of the screen, followed by this image, and then this. But as we try building it, this is our results, which is not exactly like what we have on the UI. So now we have to go back to our layout, our widgets, and see what we are not doing right. So let me go in here and stop some things so that my CPU can rest. Guys, thank you very much for the likes. I'm Itafa. Yeah, stop that, and then let's see. Okay, so now what we would be doing, instead of using column, right, instead of using column on the screen, what we are going to be doing is to change this. Yeah, is to change this to stack. So we are going to change column to stack, and if we rerun, then we are going to have all elements on top of each other, right? Then we will pick first this icon, and when we take this icon, we would have to make sure it's in the center of the screen, right? So we can do something like center, and then have child, and then leave this icon as the child of the center. If we rerun, then we are going to have our icon here. Okay, then the next thing is to put this progress indicator at the bottom here. So what we can do is to wrap this in a widget called align, right? Have this in our align widgets, and then the child is going to be this, and before that we would have to set the alignment, which would be bottom center. Yep, so you have alignment at the bottom center, rerun, and then our element is down here. So what we can do, instead of using that alignment, we can now set a pattern to actually push this element to the top, or we can change alignment to position, and then we'll do some one or two things about it, right? So we can change this to positioned, and then here we are going to set the bottom to 0. So if we should rerun, we'll have this here. If we put this in the center, where are we going to have it at? Same place, which means that when we set position to align the element at the center, we have to set right to 0 and left to 0, so that the element will be forced to, the position widget will be forced to extend to the left and right of the screen, and then the elements inside of that position would automatically be centered. So let's do that, and this is what we are going to get, which is crazy. And then we would have to set this inside of a size box with a constraint width and height being this. Yep, so the size board has a constraint. No, it has width of 56 and a height of 56. So we do this, and then what do we have? What do we have? Nothing crazy. Okay, then let's go back to our align. If position would make us lose our design, then we can go back to our align. Take a look at it and work on it. No. Yeah, so we can have it this way, and then all we have to do for a peace of mind is to set our pattern and set it to only bottom, and then that bottom can be as big as we want it, so that the element will be pushed on top. Yeah, so we can have something like this, but visiting the UI, we can actually check that the spacing from here to here is 66. Right, so even our 40 is not enough. Yeah, so now this is what we have when we first log into the app. So we can now close the app like this. I don't know why my fan is making noise. Guys, my fan is making noise. What is causing that? My fan is making noise. My fan is making noise. That's new, actually. Yeah, so let's run our app, and then we can let's confirm what we've gotten from here. Yeah, so guys, thank you for the likes. Thank you for all the likes. Yeah, so now this is what we are gonna get when we sign up, or did I say sign up? When we begin the app, when we start the app, this is what we are gonna see. But Jane, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you. Thank you. I'll make that far. Yeah, so what we are gonna do, right, is to, let me confirm something. The stroke, right? The stroke, how huge is it? How big is it? Yeah, I can get the width and the height. Kweku, and everybody that is following, thank you for the follow. Don't forget to check out the main channel for all the videos, and also when you get there, don't forget to subscribe, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for the reshare. I appreciate it. Yeah, so we have to, I want us to look at something, right? You know that when we are building, and so far so good with all that I've been showing you guys, thank you for the follow. With all that I've been showing you guys, when you are building, I always say let's put our elements, right? Let's put our local assets. Very soon I think I should come for personal training from you. Yes, yeah, Prekustena, a lot of people are actually, currently I have a lot of people that I'm handling in personal sessions. So if you want to have a personal training, you can DM me. It comes as a little cost, right? At a little cost, but you get a chance to learn a lot. I take you from beginning all the way to the top. So yeah, if you are interested, just drop the DM, and then we can talk about it. Yeah, so what we have to do, what I always say we should be doing, right, recommend for a good code, is that at the lib directory, you create a new directory called core. Then inside of this core, you're going to have some of the assets or some of the stuff that you use mostly, or that is very, very, very important to the functionalities of your app, right? So for the stuff that are very important or that are needed for your app to run smoothly, or for features to work, without them the app cannot move, the app cannot work, you normally have them in core. And so inside of this core, how do I DM you? So Edric, you can just click on my profile. When you go on my profile, I think you should see a message, something. Yeah, there should be a way to do that. Yeah, you click on my profile, and yeah, you can DM actually. You can DM. I think you should click on my profile. You should see a message box or something like that, and DM through that. Yeah, guys, you can also drop the steps in the comment section so that Edric can work around it. Yeah, I'm in Accra. Yeah, so inside of our core, we will be creating a little directory which will be assets, right, or local assets. But normally we can just ignore that, and then let's create something called app assets. So we can have something like app assets in this class. And then we are going to call this a class and call it app assets. And inside of this app assets, we're in Accra. I'm at Lakeside. Yeah, so all right, so for everyone that's texting, I can see that Edric has tested. Please, I will reply you after the live and everything, okay? So be expecting my reply. Yeah, so after creating these assets, I just want to put some comments here so that I will separate everything based on their line, right? So just single line comments, and then I'm gonna have, let's say, icons. So icons will go down here, so I can create an icon asset. The reason why I am doing this is that there might be circumstances that will require me to use the same icon multiple times, like this app icon that we are using here. There might come as a situation or another feature or a design where we would have to use it at another part of the app, and without us defining it here, then it means that we would have to call another icon reference like this, which is actually not cool, because if we should have this, the basic reason why this way it's not so cool is that if we should have this app icon in multiple screens, and then over time we update the app icon, and maybe it used to be this white, but now it is let's say of a different shape and with a different color or whatsoever. If we change the icon and we want to use it, then we basically have to go to this asset and change it here. All we have to do is to go here, change the reference, then our icon will be changed on every part of the screen or of the app. But if we don't do it that way, then that means we have to go screen by screen. If we have about 100 screen, we have to go screen by screen and then change this manually, which is not good. Yeah, so someone says hello. Yeah, I'm here. Hello. Someone says name of software for coding. So I am using Android Studio. If you want to do the setup yourself, please, which programming language are you using? All right, I'll answer that. If you want to do the setup yourself, set up the Android Studio, set up the emulator and everything, just check out this channel. I already have a video there. All right, I have a full Flutter crash course in there, so you can just check out the channel and have access to episode 1. Right, just take the episode 1 of that particular playlist and then you have a full video on how to set it up and everything. Yeah, so I'm here. This is that. Yeah, so constant static constant string, this is going to be our app icon, so we will define it as app icon, and then this will be pointing to the reference. So this is our app icon, and then we'll just pick this reference and drop it here. So now if we want to use app icon, all we have to do is to call our app assets dot app icon. Then that is that. So now all we have to do, if we want to change this icon, we will change the reference, then the icon will automatically change on any other screen. Yeah, so that is for icons, and then we can also set one for images. So let's set images, and then we can have our static constant string image whatever. We are using constant because it doesn't change. Aaron, thank you very much for the follow. So let's say this is our image, and then we are gonna have this. Right, so this image, let's see, let's just name it line background. Let's name it line background, something cool. Of course, let's just have it as line background. Yeah, so line background, we will call our app assets dot line background, like this. So if we rerun our app and then we check, we are still gonna have 6. And that is that, guys. If you are watching on TikTok, this particular app screen is bigger than what you are watching on TikTok. So if you want to move to a bigger screen, don't forget to check out the channel. Right, check out this channel, and in there I'm live right now, so you should have access to a bigger screen. And also in the description of the video, you would have access to a WhatsApp channel link. That is where I drop my notifications and everything concerning the live sessions, new resources, anything you want to know about these sessions. You'll see it's inside of the WhatsApp channel. So guys, just check it out and let's keep building. All right, so my piece is fan keeps running and it never stops. I don't know why it's making that noise. So I think the piece is overloaded or whatever, I can't tell. Yeah, so where do we go from here? I want us to take this debug badge off. I don't like when I'm saying it. So to take this debug badge, all right, most people, sometimes I check and then I realize that most people have searches. Most people search how to remove this particular badge. This is how it is, very simple. So inside of your material app, right, you can just call this show checked mode banner. All right, show debug show checked mode banner, and set this to false, and that should remove this particular banner. Yeah, then you have this. So now this is what we have inside of the UI, and this is what we have here. Everything is good. Now the next thing we are going to do is to navigate to the first onboarding screen just after the splash screen here. All right, so we are going to have another feature which will be the onboarding screen. These are just static screens, so I don't need to write any MVVM whatever for it, because it's just a static screen. I'm not going to do anything yeah, you get it. If you don't get it, try and get it. Yeah, so we are going to build a screen called the onboarding screen. All right, if you are interested in learning, don't forget to drop me a DM for private sessions. For private sessions, you can drop a DM and then I'll tell you how it goes. If you want to learn privately, you drop the DM. We'll set up 3 days in a week, right? 3 days in a week. We'll go for sessions, and then for 4 weeks, you should be ready to go. Which web application are you using for mockups? Yeah, so the designs are on Figma. All the designs are on Figma. Guys, thank you very much for the likes. Yeah, so what we are going to do here is return a scaffold. Right, we are going to return a scaffold, and this scaffold is going to have something like thank you, Big Night, thank you. Yeah, so scaffold is going to have a body, and for now the body, let me just drop a center and have a text. Right, center would have a child will be a text will say hello world. You guys remember when we used to write hello world in school? It was crazy. The C++ and C# time, it was crazy. You run your app and then you put hello world there. The first time I saw hello world, I was like, wow, I'm a developer. I was so happy. So wow, I'm a programmer. Guys, thank you very much for the follows. Don't forget to check the channel and then subscribe. Yeah, so guys, now we have our onboarding screen, and with this, in a production app, right, in an app that we have on production, which perform network state, do some sort of request to a server or a backend service. Normally when we start the app and this is running, then that means we are doing some checks in the background before we navigate the user. But because we are not yet connected to a backend, or because we are not yet connected to a server, what we are going to do is that we would simulate that particular functionality. So we are going to simulate a state where we will just automatically navigate the user to the onboarding screen after a particular period, right? So we are going to act like, okay, maybe we are making a network request, which is taking a little bit of time. Then after 3 seconds or 1 second, we navigate you to the onboarding screen. So that is what we are about to do. Creative Chris, thank you for the follow. Naib, could you tell me what is the best method to learn how to develop apps using Flutter? Yeah, the best method is following documentations and a very, very well laid out roadmap. If you can learn on your own, then you follow roadmaps. You can find it on roadmap.sh. You follow that to learn the theory sections. And if you want to learn with practical stuff, then you can follow my channel and me for the practical stuff. If you want to learn privately, you want someone to take you from one step to the other, then you send me a DM. We'll set up a date, we'll set up a time that works for you. You pay some money, then I take you through. Yeah, I'm now learning Flutter with that. Okay, your daily scroll, welcome to the best place where you learn a lot of Flutter stuff. Yeah, is that the Android Studio? Yes, this is Android Studio. So for everybody that wants a private session, it comes with a little cost. So you can send me a DM, then we'll discuss it. For anybody that wants free, you just go and check on my channel, or my channel and documentations to learn more. and you still have to follow me because you get the best coding experience from here. Yeah, so all right, naive, great. So now let's simulate our movement, right? What I said we're going to do, let's simulate that. And in order to do that, we need a function called the init state. We have to override the init state of this particular app or this particular widget. But it's in a stateless widget, so we can have access to the init state of it. And to do that, we would have to change this from stateless to stateful widget, like this. Yeah, so in the stateful widget, now we would access the init state, right? So are you using Python? No, I am using Android Studio. Yeah, so this is the init state of the app, and then what we are going to do is that we would say after the app initializes, right? After the app initializes and everything, it's called widget binding dot instance dot set post add post framework callback. Yeah, add post framework callback. We are gonna have this, and then inside of this particular function is just whatever we put in there is going to execute just after the app initializes, right? Just after this particular screen or this widget initializes, right? So we are saying that after it initializes, this is what we want to do. We want to perform an action, which is going to be, are we going to await for some time, or we should just move on? Let's move on and see. Right, so we would call something called future.delayed, and then we are going to set duration, and we would say seconds, 3 seconds, and then yeah, we can have it this way, and inside we can have something like async, and then we can say await. What we are doing here is that we would wait for 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, then we perform any action that we want to perform here. Yeah, so please, which programming language are you using? Yeah, I'm here. This is that, and Flutter. I don't want to say, I don't know if I should say Flutter or that. So this is Flutter that. Yeah, this is Flutter SDK built on that. Yeah, so after 3 seconds, what we will be doing is to navigate to the onboarding screen, right? So what we will do is call our Navigator dot of context, right? Of this particular context, we would push to this route, right? We would push to this material page route called onboarding screen. Yeah, so after 3 seconds, we will be navigating to the onboarding screen. But before we do that, we have to make sure that this context is mounted after this await, and then after this async operation, we have to make sure that the context is mounted before we move. What we are just saying that the operation is done and the widget is freed. There's no pending operation going on. Then we can move from there. Yeah, so we will check that if mounted, then do this. Yeah, so now we are saying if the context is mounted, then do this. Without if mounted, what will be happening is that we would have a little bit this yellow giggling line under our context, which will say don't use build context across async gaps. Yeah, so that is that. Not now. Yeah, so there are messages. Please, what is the best website I can use to learn coding from the basics to handwork to become to become a pro or a professional? Hello, good evening. Yeah, good evening, GH boy. So for the website, if you already have an idea of software engineering, if you already have a coding skill and everything, and you can learn on your own, then roadmap.sh has like well laid out roadmaps for you to follow. But if you are new to coding, if you are new to software engineering, maybe you've done it before but you've forgotten everything and you know you can't learn on your own, then I can teach you, but it comes at a cost. Please, when are you done with the coding? How did you send it to the customer? Oh, that is are you asking how you send your code to the customer or how you deliver the app to the customer? Yeah, so GH boy, rephrase your question and let's see what you mean. Yeah, so guys, let's rerun our app and see if the navigation is gonna work. But before that, I want us to do something. Let's put a print statement here and let's say navigate to the next screen. So let's have something like this, right? And then we are going to check that if this is going to print, we are going to check if this will display after the 3 seconds or it will display exactly after the app initializes. I'm talking about sending a code to the customer. Yes, so if you want to share the code with the customer, you can just have it hosted on GitHub and then share the link to the repo. So we are going to check from here if that text will show after 3 seconds. Yeah, so our 3 seconds text is working. So that means our app is also going to work. The navigation is also going to work. Right, so let's change this from 3 seconds to 5 seconds and then stop the app and run it all over again. Yeah, so GH boy, if you want to share your code with your customer or your clients, you can just put it in there on GitHub and then share it with them. So the navigation should happen after 5 seconds. Yeah, so that is that. Someone is saying print is a function for Python. Yeah, so in that you can have print, you can have log, you can have debug print and some other functions. They all print the elements based on what you're doing. Yeah, so it works here as well. Thank you 123DHD for the follow. Yeah, so guys, our navigation is now working as we want it. This is how we navigate to the screen after a particular second or a particular time. So we would have to put this in under a to-do. Let's just say simulate network. Let's see, simulate network requests. Yeah, so we are just simulating a network request. We are acting as if there is something going on, and then that is what we do. Yeah, so one thing that I want you guys to realize is that we have navigated to this screen, but before we came to this screen, we were on the onboarding screen. So on a normal production app, when you click on the back button, the app is supposed to close because onboarding is onboarding. Splash is splash screen. You don't have to go back to the splash screen. But I believe if we should click on this back button, we will be redirected to the splash screen. So let me click on this and then we'll be back on the splash screen. This is not supposed to be like this. The reason why it's like this is because down here we are using push for the navigation. There are different ways that you can navigate your app inside of Flutter. We have one which is push, and all push does is to push the widget that you call, which is onboarding screen, onto the top of the widget tree. And that does not kill the widget that's below this, which means that when you press the back button, you'll be taken to the previous widgets. And to correct that, we will use another function which is push replacement. So this push replacement is used to do the push, the normal push, and also replace this particular widget, right? The current widget or the widget that was there before the push would be replaced with the new one, which means that that index, all right, the index of that previous widget becomes the index of the new one. So if that one was index 0 and this new one is index 5, this new one becomes index 0, which means that when you press backwards, it is going back to maybe if there is any other one there, or it will automatically close the app. So let's rerun and then see what we'll get. After 5 seconds, navigate us, and now if we press the back button, we close the app. Yeah, so that is the difference between the push and then the push replacement. Yeah, so let's clean up the app and then restart it, then we can build our onboarding screen. Guys, it's about to get tensions. Yeah, so after this screen, we would go to our onboarding screen, and then on the onboarding screen, we are done with Splash. Onboarding screen, what we are going to do is to build this beautiful thing here. It's what we are about to build. Yeah, so how do we get this? The question is, how do we achieve this? When you do this, yeah, let's go. Yeah, so this is what we have, right? I love this line down here. There's a widget that will handle that, so I'm glad we have that already. So what we are going to do is to use stack. We are still going to use the stack widget for this and this, right? So Slaytech and Collision Motion, thank you guys for the follow. Don't forget to check here for the previous videos. I have more than 100 videos on the channel, so just check it out. Drop the subscription, put on the post notifications so that anytime I go live, you will get access to the video. You get it? If you don't get it, come and fight me. Yeah, so guys, let's go to our screen and let's do something beautiful. But before we do that beautiful thing, we know we need 2 images from here, right? We need this image and then the line down here. So we need this line and then we need that image. Yeah, so the first thing we'll do is to download the line, is to download this particular line, right? So what we are going to be doing is that for any screen that we build, we will push it a little bit away from the other screens, right? So we are done with this, so let's push it to that side. Yeah, the next thing we are going to focus on is the onboarding screen, which is this. Yeah, so we would download this line, go here. Okay, this image is actually huge. Yeah, so we are going to download this image and then we are going to download this line. Let's first pick the line, right? So let's download this white lines like this. It's in there actually, so we'll download this white lines and element 2. Okay, where is it? Yeah, so this is it, white lines 2, whatever name we are going to give it is up to us. So let's go to assets, images, and then white line background or whatever, element 2, line background 2. So let me have it this way. I just hope I can remember it. Yeah, so let's copy the path reference and now we can go to asset images, duplicate this and then replace this with line background 2 and replace this with line background 2. Yeah, now we have something cool. Now after this, the next thing for us to do is to download the other image, which is this one. So let's download this human image and make use of it. Info and then export. How are we even gonna name it? Image P engine. Let's say human image P engine, whatever name we are gonna give it is up to us, right? So before that, let's drop it in here. I think yeah, images, let's drop it in here and then we'll say what's the name? Okay, so onboarding model, yeah, image. So here's the model on the onboarding screen. So onboarding model image. Yeah, we would have this, and all we have to do is duplicate this and then have it as onboarding model image. But I want to separate it with a single line. Okay. Yeah, so I am gonna have something, and let me name it onboarding model image like this. All right, guys, if you like what we are doing, then you know what to do. Follow, reshare, and like. Thank you, man. All right, so we already have our 2 images. I'm loving it. I'm also loving it, man. I'm loving the comments. Don't forget to check the YouTube channel. Yeah, you have to drop that follow, else we are gonna fight. Yeah, so let's bring our image and this text. This text is very important. We will need it, so we would have to do that too, and then we move on. You're laughing. We need to laugh for you. You're laughing. You guys don't know. I'm serious. If you don't do it, you better fight us. Yeah, so we are going to use the stack because images are on top of each other. You can see this image on top of this and this appearing on top of this, blah, blah, blah. So we are going to use stack. Yeah, stack. Yeah. So we would pick stack. And then the first thing we need is this text, right? So let's do that. We are going to use this text, and then we are going to use this image as well. But I think we should deal with the image first. Afterwards, then we do the text. Yeah. Yeah, so let's deal with the image. Yeah, so we can have image dot assets, and then in here we would call asset image like this, and then app assets dot why oh, okay, guys, sorry. Yeah, image dot assets, and then we'll call app assets dot line background 2. Yeah, so let's have the line background 2 rerun, and this is what we have for the line background 2. Can you see that? Yeah, I hope you can see that. Yeah, so that is for line background 2. Now we need this other image, which is the human image, right? So how do we achieve this? Let's see, we are going to use the align. So let's call another one, which is image.assets, right? App assets dot onboarding model image. Let's have this man and see what he'll do for us. So we are going to have him like this. Yeah, but we want him to appear at the bottom, yeah, the bottom of the screen, and then he should be looking exactly like what we have here. So what we are going to do is to put this inside of align, right? So this is going to go inside of align, the align widget, and the align widget is going to have a child, which would be this image, right? Then we would align this at the bottom right corner. Yeah, so bottom right, that is where we are going to align it. So alignment dot bottom right, and then we should have this. I said go to the bottom right. Why are you at the bottom left? Don't tell me, guys. Thank you very much for the follow. Oh, see the issue we are having. We have a little bit of an issue. So this image, let me see. Let's download it like this. Yeah. So now let me confirm something. Yeah, so this is how the image is supposed to be. Yeah, so we are just gonna have here, drop it, and then rename it to onboarding model image. So let's change it to onboarding model image. Yeah, and then we would overwrite. So rerun, and let's see what we'll get. So Setso, Setso, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you. Yeah, guys, don't forget to reshare. Yeah, don't forget to reshare. Don't forget to check my channel. Ugh. Yeah, we have, for everybody that's watching on the YouTube channel, thank you very much. Please don't forget to subscribe. And for everyone that's watching on TikTok, don't forget to check the YouTube channel and drop that what? I wanted to say shout out. I nearly said shout out. And drop that subscription. Yeah. Yeah. So our screen is already looking like what we want to do or what we are supposed to do. As you can see, there's no difference. Everybody won. We pay a lot. Why? Yeah, so we've already gotten a lot of stuff that we need to get from here. There's no difference. All we have to do is to check why this is here, right? Let's try to see if we can have this in the center of the screen. So assuming we wrap it in the center, then we are going to have it this way. So now it is well aligned in the center of the screen. Yeah, so from here, the next thing we need is the text. That text at the top is what we need. Yeah, so we would have to go all the way here. Yeah, on top of this line, we are going to build the text, right? So in the stack widgets, whatever element that comes, the latest element is always the one on top. So this one, which is the first one, will appear below this. Are you using VS Code 4K? I am using Android Studio. Yeah, so we want the text to appear on this lines. So we are going to have it here, and then we'll call this text widgets. And inside of this text widgets, we are going to have our text, which is define yourself in your unique way. Right, so let's define ourselves in our unique way, right? So in our unique way. So we'll define ourselves in our unique way, like this. Rerun this, and then we would have it looking here. So we can see it, but it's at the top of the screen. And that is not what we want, right? So we would have to wrap it in the widgets that will push it below the, that is the taskbar, yeah, below the taskbar. So we would use the safe area widgets, and then with the safe area widgets, our elements will be appearing below the taskbar like this. Yeah, so now we have that. That is looking good. Now, the next thing we would have to do, guys, one thing, reshare, like, comment, follow, and subscribe. Thank you. Volker, thanks for the follow. Gracias. Yeah, so we are going to define our text style, right? And then after the text style, Mario, thanks for the follow. Guys, thanks for the follow. Yesterday, someone was like, thanks. He said, you are saying thanks for the follow instead of thanks for the follow. So thanks for the follow and not thanks for the follow. It's crazy. Yeah, so we are gonna have our text style, which would be the size. So first things first, let's define the font size of our fonts, and that is gonna be like 64, right? So the font size is 64.0. Now it's gonna be very big. Let's see. Boom. Yeah, so this is what we are gonna have. And then the next thing is to define the font weight. So if you check it here, the font weight is semi-bold. So we are going to change our font weight to W600, and that is semi-bold, right? So now it's going to look, yeah. After that, the next thing we would have to do is to check the line height, right? And the line height is let's set the height, and then the height is, I think, 8. What program is this? Android Studio. Oh, sorry, this is Android Studio. 80% should look like this. Yeah, so now this is the 80% line height. Trendy lemonade, this is Android Studio. So now we have that, and then the next thing we would have to do is to wrap this inside of a padding. And with the padding, let's see the spacing from the left and the right. Can we get that? Can we find that? Can we get that? Yeah, I'm not able to get it, but I know this should be either 24 or 16. So we are going to wrap the text inside of a padding, and then the edge insets, all right, is going to be 16, and then 16 should look like this. If 16 is too small, then we can do 24, which should be perfect, like this. Yeah, so define yourself in your unique way should now look like define yourself in your unique way. So guys, this is what we have. You can see that, and this is what we have. We have this, and we have this. Oh, wait, sorry. Yeah, we have this, and we have this. Is it Kotlin? No, this is that. Flutter. Mixed. Yeah, so this is a mix of everything. Yeah, what we can do, right, I want us to have this look exactly like what we have on the UI. So you can see that this line, it's a little bit running under this dot, and just be at the corner of the cap like this, right? So let's see, this is our own, and then the line is too high, right? So what we can do is let's wrap this inside of a padding, right? And that padding will set only top padding to 16. Yeah, so now we can push that down, and what we can do is just push it down until we have it as it is on the UI. So as it was in the beginning, it's now and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. Yeah, so we have it this way. Right now, guys, it is looking almost like what we have here, but we have to do a little bit of a push, right? So 80.0 should be perfect. That far. So yeah, now we have this. This is what we have on our UI now, and this is what we have on the design. Crazy. Yeah, crazy. So these are the beautiful things you learn when you are on my level, when you are on my channel, when you are with code with Setso. These are the beautiful things that we built. So now we have our onboarding. The next thing we have to do, right? The next beautiful thing we have to do is to get this done. Then we can say bye bye yo moninyaminko atasa. Yes. Yeah, so what we will do here is to call another section, another property of the scaffold, right? Not scaffold, of the scaffold widget. We would have to call another property, and that property is persistentFooterButtons, right? We are going to call persistentFooterButtons. It takes a list of widgets. So down here, you're going to have something like persistentFooterButtons, and then inside of this, you're going to put one button in here, which would be a field button. Yeah, so we are going to have a field button. We have different types of buttons in Flutter, right? We have elevated button, we have icon button. Man, please share some resources you use to learn these things. You are making it look so simple. Yeah, so Nathaniel, yeah, it's actually simple. Yeah, when you follow my path. Yeah, but with the resources, phew, a lot. Let me just say I've done a lot of reading. I used a lot of articles on Medium, and also I read a lot of documentations on the official Flutter platform. I also follow weekly Flutter updates on the official Flutter YouTube channel, where they put weekly widgets of the week, stuff they do like that. And apart from that, I build a lot of projects. Most of them are just lying in my repo. I build a lot of them. Yeah. But if you want to do this, if you want it to be quick for you, if you want to learn faster, I have private lessons that I offer with at a cost. Yeah, so you can DM me if you're interested to do that private lessons. You can DM me, I'll take you through the process. If you're okay with it, you do your payment, then we start learning. If you're not okay with it too, that's great. The resources are all there, you can access them. You can still follow me on my channel for daily updates like this one. Yeah, so you choose. If you want to learn it on your own, you can check out my channel for a lot of videos like this. You can check out resources on Medium and also the official documentation. Yeah, and also you can contact me for period for learning. So the learning period and everything is going to be created based on your availability and my availability. So you text me, we decide the time that works for both of us, because I don't want to force anybody to have to stress themselves. I don't want to press you whilst you are learning, right? So at your own time, the time that works for you and me, we can discuss that, then we do it. Yeah, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I've already followed you both YouTube and TikTok. Thank you, Nathaniel. You are the biggest, Nathaniel. Not last week. Hey, Naslead is the biggest, Nathaniel. Yeah, so yeah, bro, it's good to have you all on board. Just send me a DM with any inquiries and I'm ready to reply every message. Yeah? Yeah. So guys, what are we doing here? Bro, I can hear you. Thank you. Yeah, so what are we doing here? You might need to fix your YouTube link. I can't find your channel. Really? Okay, I'll do that. But right now, this is it. This is the name of it. The channel on my profile? Really? I think it should be, yeah, I'll check it out and then I'll fix it. Thank you very much for the alert. Yeah, so we are going to do something. On press of this button, what would be our to do? The to do is to navigate. All right, we are going to say navigate to the navigate to Auth screen. Yeah, so navigate to Auth screen. We are going to be doing authentication, which is creating an account, sign up and log in and all that. Yeah, then the child of this particular widget is going to be a text, right? So the text, it's get started, but get started, great. Good to have you on board. Yeah, so get started as a text and it has an icon too. So this is going to be a role. Yeah, good to have you guys on board. So we are going to have this role with children, and then the first child is going to be a text, right? So this text like this, and then the second child is going to be an icon. So let's say an icon like arrow forward like this, right? Assuming this is what we have, then this is how it's going to be looking. Yeah, this is how it's going to be looking great. Wait, our elements just pushed up, even the image pushed up, but that's not an issue. We are going to fix it. Yeah, so now with this, what we have to do is to set the main axis alignment to center for the row, and then the elements will be in the center. Then what we're going to do with this is set the little spacing between these two elements, which is going to be a size box with a width of 8.0. Then now we would have a little space in between these two. But I already told you there are some few things that makes coding easier in Flutter and faster. One thing is about texts. We've done same thing for the assets, which is this class app assets. We are going to do similar thing for our text, right? So you can see that we have 2 or 3 variations of the text on the screen, which is semi-bold. Is there a way to edit the persistent footer button? Yeah, that is what we are doing. That is what we are doing. But before that, I want us to actually build a new class, create a new class for handling or holding our text, right, and set up the various text sizes and all those things before we move on to that. Yeah, so if you check on the screen, we have two variations or two variations of the fonts. We have the semi-bold one and we have the regular one, right? So it's either regular or semi-bold. So we have semi-bold, regular, and medium. Yeah, those three types is what we have inside of the app. So what we would have to do is to create a new core class which would be holding our text. So we can have a new core class which will be app text. Sorry, I'm leaving. Quick one. Do you do beginner as well? Yes, of course, I do. So you can send me a DM on that, and then anytime you are ready, we'll talk about it. If you want a private session, then we'll talk about it. Else, I have a beginner course inside of the YouTube channel, and the name is it's a playlist, and the name is Flutter Crash Course. Yeah. So if you need private classes, you text me. If it's about the YouTube, then you check the channel. Yeah. So guys, we are gonna create a sweet poison. Thank you very much for the follow. We are gonna create a class, a new text which will be static text, and then this will be our regular text. Thank you. Have a good night. So we are going to have a static text, and the name will be regular. So let's say we are going to have our regular text like this. What about back end? Yeah, so we are not yet at back end. Currently we are building front end. My back end is mostly Java Spring Boot. Yeah, my back end is mostly Java Spring Boot. No, I'm not using Superbase yet. I'm not using Firebase. Currently, we are just getting the UI worked with. After that, even in this particular playlist, we won't be doing backend. Maybe the next 2 or 3 playlists before we'll begin backend. Yeah, so it's currently UI, Flutter Essentials, and then some other implementations that you need to master in Flutter before we go into building a backend service for any of those apps. Yeah, so we are going to return. Thank you very much. So we are going to return texts, and this text will take data, and that data is going to be another text, right? So we would have to take all those things from the parameter. Yeah, so we can have a required string which will be text. So this is going to be the text, and then the style word. Yeah, so we're going to have a text style, and inside of this text style, let's say this is a regular, so we are not adding a style now. Let's build another one for medium. Let's build another text style, text whatever font style for medium. Yeah, so for the font style, we are gonna have same text. Okay guys, I'll reply everybody. And then the font weight for medium, I think font weight for medium is it 400? Yeah, I think medium font weight is 400, but let me check it out and say, I think it's 400 or 500. Okay, then what is regular? If medium is 500, then what is regular? Regular is 400. Really? Okay, so normal font weight is 400 and medium is 500. Okay, then that's cool. Yeah, so we have our medium as 500, and then we have our semi-bold as 600. Yeah, as for semi-bold, I've used it multiple times, so I know what it is. Font weight, and then we're gonna say W600. Yeah, so that is that for the semi-bold. Now what we have to do is to also set the font size for the fonts. Right, so right now what we are going to be using is the medium, inside of this button we would be using the medium, right? So let's see. This is a medium size. Guys, thank you very much for the follow. Brainstorm and Mr. Vini, thanks for the follow. Yeah, for everybody that's texting, please I'll reply you after the live. Yeah, so let's check this. This is medium of 16, right? So we would have to also set our font size, which is gonna be a double, right? A double of font size. Yeah, so we are gonna have this as a font size. Then we'll specify our font size or 16.0. So this becomes the font size. Yeah, so now when we move to this screen, what we are going to do that instead of calling this, right, instead of having all this, what we can do is to change it into the string class that we've created or the text class that we've created. But as you can see, we have something here that says height, so we'd also have to specify the font height, right, the text height. So in here we can have something like double height. Is this Python or C++? Mr. Vini, this is that. This is that. Yeah, so now we have this, and then inside of this, what we can do is to call our app text and then replace all this with it, right? So let me just pick this text because I don't want us to rewrite it again. Yeah. Yeah, so we can have app text dot semi-bold. All right, and now all we have to do is to specify the text that we want to show or display. Yeah, so if we rerun, we would have something like this. Now we only have to set here that. So now we only have to set the font size, which was I think 30. Wasn't it 32 or something? 64. Yeah, it was 64.0 like this, and then the height was 0.8%. Yeah. So this was what we had before we move. Yeah, so now that we have this set, the next thing we want to do is to go inside of this row and do some few stuff in here. So we call our app text dot regular, I think semi-bold, medium. Yeah, app text dot medium, and then the text is going to be what is it going to be? Get started. So the text will be get started like this. So let's rerun, and then we have that. And for this, I think it's the same thing. Is it the same as this? Yeah, I think so. Let me check the spacing between these two. Oh, can't I get a spacing? Nah, I don't think so. Damn, I couldn't get a spacing. Yeah, but I think 8.0 is okay. It's changed. Yeah, this, if it is about this, then we are going to work on it. Don't worry, we'll work on it. Yeah, the head is now covering the text. Yeah, it's because we added this, so we would do that. No worries. Thank you. Yeah, so we would have something like style, and then we are gonna call field button dot style from, and then the background color is gonna be black. Is that black? Is that really black? Is that really black? And then that is primary 900, so that calls for another class which will be app colors, right? Because we've used this primary 900 somewhere and we can't use it again. We just have to create a class that we can use to reuse it, right? So let's go in here, and then we'll call the first color, which will be static constant color, and then we'll say Mr. Rans 11, thanks very much for the follow. Then this will be primary 900, and that would be a color of this here. Yeah, so Cynic, is it Cynic or Cynic? Thanks very much for the follow. Guys, I really appreciate all of you, the support, the follow, and all that. Please let's translate that into the YT channel as well, because that is where you see most of the videos. All the videos are in the YT channel, which is a YouTube channel. And if you go in there, I don't know when you are going to go out, because there's tons of videos and mobile apps for you to take a look at. Yeah, so now back on the screen, we will be changing this to app text. Right, so we'll be changing this to app text.primary 900. Sorry, app colors. Yeah, app colors.primary 900. Yeah, then in here we are going to change the background color to app colors dot primary 900. Yeah, so rerun, and then we now have this. Yeah, so after that, the next thing we have to do is to wrap this row inside of a padding, so that the height and then the size of this will now increase. Has it increased? Let me see. 24. Yeah. So now let's see the padding. Yeah, that. And then the next thing we are going to do is to change the size of this is 16. Yeah, it's 16. That's okay. Yeah, so the next thing we are going to do is to change the radius. I think the radius here is way different. All right, we have 10. So what we can do for this particular UI is to change the shape, and I think we can use a rounded rectangle border, and then the border radius is going to be a circular. It's going to be a circular radius of 10. Right, so if we should run, then we would have something like this. Yeah, now this is looking good. Actually, this is looking good, but this whole button also has to be inside of a pattern. Right, so we do this, and then we have a little space around the items now. So now our button is looking almost like this. Yeah, but one thing I think is the pattern here is too much. Right, and then we should have something like this to this. Yeah, so after this, I think the next thing we can do, this is 16. Right, let me see, this is 8. No, let's make it 16. Yeah, so like this. Yeah, so don't care. Thanks very much for the likes. Yeah, so now this is what we have. The next thing we have to do is to reduce the image sizes. Right, you have to reduce the sizes of some stuff and also fix some certain sections of the app. Then that should be it. Right, so if we pick this image, currently the height is too huge. How did you get the API, Leon? API, guys, thank you very much for the likes. Thank you for the gifts. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Leon, the API, can you please put some kind of, I don't really get the API, because is it the app design, or I don't get it. So please rephrase, because we are not yet working on anything related to APIs. So can you please rephrase it so that I'll get what you mean? Yeah, guys, thank you very much for the gifts, the likes, and the follows. Yeah, so we would have to reduce the size of this image a bit, because this here is too much, and we would also have to reduce the size of this one as well. The background, we would also have to reduce the size. Yeah, but one thing I don't get is that the padding that we are adding here, the padding that we're adding to this is affecting this. which really doesn't add up. It does not add up to what we have here. So I would have to look at it, and then let me change this to 0 and see. Okay, that looks good. Let's bring it back and we should be okay. Now reduce the size of the image. First things first, where is it? Where is that image? Let's go look for it and reduce the size. This. Now what's going to be the height of this image? It's not on the screen, so I would have to guess. Currently this is a 600 height, which is kind of crazy, but let's see. Yeah, so this is what it gives us if we should have it at 600. And then this one, right, this one here has a height of 700, so that is for the line, right? So the line is holding a height of 700, which we can also touch up to see how it's gonna look like. So let's set a height to 700 and let's see. And then the fit is gonna cover. Really? Let's remove this from center. Let's put it inside of position. So let's have position.fill. Then let's see, is this gonna do anything? Take off the height and let's see. Why did the image move away from this? So we are almost done, but some few things are now giving an issue, so we would have to, which editor please? Yeah, this is Android Studio. This is the Android Studio editor. This is Android Studio. Okay, so we would have to push from the top to the down. So let's have something like 160 to push the image from top to bottom. So now the thing is, when we push the image, then boom, an issue. See my boss. Yeah, boss, you start by getting me my APIs. You start by getting me my APIs. Yeah. You start by getting me my APIs and we move from there. Yeah, so guys, this is gonna be the, let's see. We have to get a perfect height for this. Actually, the image is okay, and this line, now we would have to push this line to the bottom. My boss don't want to get me my APIs. The reason why we are not getting the image, the reason why when we push the image to the bottom it gets cut out is because the height of the image is like from here to here. So if we increase the size, or if we try to push it down, then it becomes compressed, and it's making it some weight. So I think let's try something else and see. If we set the top, let's set the top to 80, right? And we are gonna have something like this, right? Okay, no problem. Now what we will do is to wrap this in let me see if there's a way we can actually get it to work as it should. Yeah, so if we have this, then what we can do is before this, let me give it a container and run background color. Let's set a color for this container. Let's say the color is blue. Yeah, so so we have this as blue, right? We have this as blue, and then this is the image. right? So we can now push this. Let's swap it with child. Okay, and when we run, then we are gonna have this for it. Now this container width should be double dot infinity. Guys, thank you very much for the likes. Now this is what we have. So we can now try to do the push and see if it's going to work. Yeah, so the push that we did was I think, was it 160, 1 something? It was around 1 something. So now we can push down until we get exactly what we want. We are almost there, so 200 should be a perfect push. Yeah, so now we have our elements, and all we have to do, put this in a size box and remove this, then rerun, and then we have our design like this. Guys, what do you think? This is what we have, and this is what we have. This and this, this and this. Yeah, so define yourself in your unique way is what we have now, with the buttons and every other thing that we need on the screen. It's beautiful, yeah? It is beautiful. Yeah, so from here, what else can we do? What else can we do? Is to navigate the user from this screen to the Auth screen. The image should move to the left a bit. Okay, so if we try to move the image to the left, we can't move the image to the left. What we can do is move either the text to the right, which wouldn't pick, but let's try with the image, because moving it to the left will distort everything. Yeah, if we try to move it to the left, right, see what we are going to get. See what we are going to get, right? See. Let's do only and do right. You see, we are going to have this at the end, because the side of the image has been cut straight according to the screen, right? So this side is going to look like, which would not be okay. Yeah, that is why we can't move it to the left. Yeah, that is why we can't move it to the left than to have it this way. Yeah, so now we have this. Now that we have this, what else can we do? If it's moved to the left, that would be very good. That will look so good, but unfortunately we can't do it that way, so we move. Amir, thanks very much for the likes. So what else do? We go to the Auth screen. Guys, so far so good. Let's see what we've done. This is episode 2 after episode 1, and it's looking good, man. It's looking so good. If you haven't subscribed yet, go and subscribe. Hit on that subscribe button and let's get moving. Yeah, so guys, this is what we are gonna get. This is what we are gonna have if we should start moving from here. We are done with the onboarding. Now our next screen is going to be the Auth screen, right? The authentication screen is what we would have to do next. So let's go in there and see what we have. So on this screen, we are going to have this, the label. This label ran across most of the screens. So that means we would have to create a widget to hold this label, right? You always have to take a critical look at the UI when you are working on it, so that you can identify things that are being repeated on multiple screens and then change it into a reusable widget. You get it? Thank you. Yeah, so we are going to work on this screen. Guys, we have about 14 minutes to end episode 2. So let's be quick with it so that we can end with something significant. Yeah, so let's build the Auth screen. Go in here, locate features. We have onboarding, we have splash, and then we are going to create the Auth screen, right? So authentication screen. In here, we have multiple screens that we'll be creating. We have the sign up screen, we have the login screen, we have the forgot password screen, we have reset password screen, we have OTP verification screen. All those things are in here. So inside of Auth screen, what we are going to do is if we are using MVVM, then we have to change screen to views actually. But yeah, we can still have this. Under Auth screen, we can have screens. I'm not going to call it views, I'll just call it screens. Yeah, so inside of these screens, now we can have login screen and blah 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 blah. Or what we can do is to take this off, close this, and then go directly to the login screen. So under Auth screen, we have the login, right? We have the login screen, and then we have the sign up screen and all that. So first things first, let's start with the first one, which is sign up screen. Right, so let's change this to sign up screen. What backend are you using? Yeah, so Sandy, currently we are still not on backend yet. What we are doing is working to get better with Flutter UIs, Flutter widgets, and then Flutter concepts and implementations. Because for backend, this is not something I'm going to deploy, so I don't really need backend for it. When it's time for backend, I'm going to introduce Firebase, yeah, and Firebase is what we'll be using for basic stuff. So yeah, currently we're just focused on getting good with the UI, with the widgets and the concepts. Then we can move on to connecting with APIs and those things. Yeah, thank you for your understanding. So let's create the sign up screen. Yeah, is it sign up screen like this? Yeah, guys, thank you very much for the likes, the follows, and the support. Yeah, so we'll create a stateless class called the sign up screen, and inside here we would import, yeah, we would import material app like this. So this will return a scaffold with a body. So how do you test the app? How do I test the app if it is working or what? Is it writing unit test for sections of the app, or running it to connect to maybe try to see if sign up is working, login is working, and all those things? Which one is it? So this will say sign up. So let's say hello, sign up here. What am I doing? Yeah, so this is what we are gonna have. Now on the onboarding screen, if we click on get started, we are doing push replacement to the sign up screen, right? So what we are gonna do here, yeah, feature testing. Okay, we'll introduce that, which is maybe unit testing and stuff, but right now I'm not doing unit testing in this. Again, the focus is to get people to actually sabi the UI features, and then for those other things, maybe I'll just do some 2 videos on it, 2 separate videos in the Flutter Essentials concerning unit testing and stuff. Then you can take a look at it. But if it comes to what we are building, the focus is for you to be okay with the widgets and the concepts. The rest, you can watch it in another video, or maybe if you need it urgently, then you can just read some documentations and stuff. Yeah. So we are going to call Navigator dot of context dot push replacement. Wait. Yeah, why is it saying Navigator doesn't have a constraint? Yeah, dot push replacement. And then we are going to specify the page that we want to move to, right? So we will call our material page route, which will be pointing to let's just set the parameter to route, and route is going to get this one. So we'll be replacing this page with the sign up page. So on the sign up screen, now on the Auth screen, like this is onboarding. Yeah, on the onboarding screen, when we click on get started, we should be automatically manually navigated to the sign up screen. Yeah, so stop the app and then rerun, and then let's see what we got. Sign up, 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 Amitafar. So run this, then we are now on the sign up screen. Hello, what do you think of using an external mobile UI library? External mobile UI library like any idea? Okay. Yeah. But again, the goal is building to get conversant with what goes behind the scene. So if you already know, I don't know, I haven't tried it before. I've heard of CodePen and all those things, but I haven't tried it before. So if you're already okay with Flutter and things, you can try out other engines or maybe other things that are built on Flutter or stuff like that. If you already know the basics of anything, you can try whatever has been built on it. But the goal of the whole live, the playlist, the whole channel, the whole live coding things is to get people understand what goes behind the scene. Yeah, that's why I hardly do I use packages, third-party libraries, and all those things in here. Yeah. So CodePen, it's for interviews. Okay. I haven't used it before. I just hear of it multiple times, but I've never used it before. Yeah, so guys, we are moving to the sign up screen. What do we have on the sign up screen? This is a sign up screen. We have colors, we have app text, we have app assets. We've really done a lot in this particular episode. Guys, we've done a lot in this particular episode. I thought we didn't do anything, but looking at the stuff that we have in here, I think we've done a lot in episode 2. It's crazy. Yeah, so now we have hello, sign up here. What are we doing? On the screen, we are focusing on one main thing, right? Which is building this particular reusable widget before any other thing, right? Because when you check the entire authentication page, this widget, right? This widget runs through all of the screens. We have it here, we have it here, we have it here. Okay. What does it do? Sunday. Okay, I'll check it out. We are almost done, so let's complete this, then we can check out what's that? It shot cn Flutter. Okay, we can check it out. Is it shade or shot? I will check it out. Yeah, so let's build this widget for our screen headers, right? So for the screen headers, let's bring this widget. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, so you can see my eyes are already closing because the body is tired. Yeah, so let's get started quickly before I go off. So we'll start with safe area. Yeah, ready-made widgets. Okay. Yeah, so safe area, child, and then we're gonna have a single child scroll view. Yeah, single child scroll view is gonna have a child which is gonna be column, right? We'll have it as column, and then column is gonna have padding. Yeah, and then padding is gonna be symmetrically aligned, right? Symmetrically aligned, and that means we would have a horizontal alignment of 16.0. Yeah, so that is that. And now the next thing we want to do is ready-made widgets. All right, so yeah, the next thing we want to do is to check the type of widgets text widgets we have here. We have this is a semi-bold of 32, right? So we are going to call our app text choice. Thank you very much for the follow. Wait, we have to call children. It's coding with AI code. Coding with AI code, which means, okay, you guys are having your conversations in the comment section. Yeah, so we are gonna have this one, which is create an account, right? So the heading says create an account. Create an account like this. Yeah, so if we rerun, we should have something like create an account, and then the font size is going to be 32.0. Yeah, 32 is coding with AI good. This is a very huge question, right? Coding with AI, do you already have the basics? Yeah, that's my question. Do you already understand the basics and everything? If yes, feel free. Yeah, so if you are okay with the basics, if you can read your code from top to down, if you can correct AI when it's going wrong, then feel free to code with AI. But if you know you are not so okay, and when AI is doing a mistake, you can't tell it that, hey, wait, you are going too far, then you would have to wait and then grab it a little before you move with AI. Because as soon as you start with AI, everything becomes just so smooth for you. It's like you don't have to write codes, that much of a code again. So in a way, you become a little bit lazy, yeah, when it comes to writing code. So if you don't have the foundational structure in there, you might sit and watch AI develop or build something that is not really okay or substantial or reusable or scalable for you. Yeah, so if you feel like you are okay, you know the basics and everything, you can just feel free and then go with AI. Yeah, so after the semi-bold, we can have another app text dot regular, and then our text is going to be, what do we have there? What do we have? Let's create your account. Yeah, so that is what we have. Let's create your account like this. Yeah, so with this, guys, thank you very much for the likes. Sandy, big boss Sandy. Yeah, so our cross-axis alignment for the column is gonna be at the start. Yeah, so we're gonna have something like this. Let's create your account. But if you look at this, the text color, it's different from what we have, which is primary 500. Yeah, so we'll have to create a new text color, which is basically primary 500. Right, so we go to core app colors, duplicate this, replace this color with the 500 color, and change this to primary 500 like this. Yeah, so now this text color, so we can set color to up colors to primary 500, and then all we have to do is to go inside of regular and then ask for colors, right? So we are going to call color, and then we are going to have this as color. Then inside of this we are going to give color to color like this. So rerun, and then we should have our text looking like this. Yeah, and then the next thing we can do is to check the line height of this particular text. Let's check this to 8.0. How did you make the plan you are looking? Okay, the UI. This is a UI that is already existing, a free UI on Figma. So I just saw it. It's okay. It has a lot of the stuff that I want us to tackle. So I just pick the UI and work on it. Yeah. And then if it is not about the UI and how do you make the plan you are looking at, then I don't know the plan that you're talking about. Yeah, so guys, that's what we can do is also set a little bit padding at the top. I think this one doesn't actually give us what's your job right now. My language is that too. Yeah, so my job, I am a software developer or engineer, right? Software engineer by title, and I work with one company. We are into software development. No, the app UI already exists. So the app UI is on Figma, which you can see it's a design that has been designed, just this one's images and stuff, and our job is to translate this into a mobile app. That is why we are writing the code, as you can see. Yeah, so the height is let's thank God. So let's have it like this. I think that is even too close. Yeah, I think that is too close, so we can maintain the normal height and then that should work. Yeah, so this is what we have. I wanted us to create this and then make it a reusable widget, but our time is up. So what we are going to do is to create this last item. I think this runs on only the Auth screens, right? So this particular header that I'm creating, what is your take on GetX state management, I guess provider or riverboard and even block? So GetX is the very basic one, and riverboard and block are well recognized state management packages for Flutter apps, right? So if you want to go into production real and you want good performance and stuff, just choose either block or riverboard. GetX is for small apps, yeah, apps that do not do much. But if you want to experience real state management and good performance, then be looking at riverboard or block. Yeah. So guys, we've built this. One last thing we have to do is inside of the features in the Auth screen, we would create another directory called widgets. Yeah, and then the widgets here, it's gonna be Auth header. What do you use on a day-to-day? Day-to-day, I use riverboard. For basic apps, test apps, I just use GetX. But for apps that For the apps, client apps and those things, I normally use Riverport. I started using Block at a time and then I moved back to Riverport again. Yeah. Yeah, so let's create a Auth screen header widget. Yeah, so let's have this Auth screen header widget, and let's create a stateless widget and call it Auth screen header widget. Guys, thank you very much for the likes, the follow. We are about to end this episode 2, so please, if you haven't follow yet. If you haven't subscribed, please go check it out and subscribe so that when I go live tomorrow, you would get the notification and hopefully be the first person on live. Yeah, so please don't forget to check it out. Big ups. Happy coding. Yeah. So we are gonna pick this. Yeah, there's no way you will go and have a developer happy like me. So that's one thing you would see. Sometimes you see developers, they are like busy doing their thing. I'm the only developer that has been chatting and still do my thing. So you want to be part of this. You want to say this every day. Therefore, bro, don't forget. Therefore, like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Guys, this is nice. Yeah, so we have this. We have our widgets, right? And we are, because of that, we are going to replace this with the widget, right? We can just say auth header, or header, auth header widget, or auth header screen widget. Okay, we can have this and rewrite it, rerun, and we are still going to have that. What we will do here is to require two things, which is going to be a final string, which is a header. Please, do you know how to do WhatsApp auto status view both? No, I haven't tried that before. Yeah, so we are gonna have title. I haven't tried it before. Final string subtitle. Yeah, so we have title and then subtitle there, and then in here we are just going to replace this with title, and we are going to replace this with the subtitle. Yeah, so if we jump in here, we should now add the two sections, which would be the title and then the subtitle, where this is going to be create an account. This is going to be create an account, and this is going to be let's create your account. Yeah, so now this is this, and we are going to use this particular widget. All right, we are going to use this particular widget, auth screen header widget. We are going to use it across the rest of the app, the rest of the screens, right? Which is this, all the way to this in the next episode. Yeah, so guys, let's do the final review, then we can say bye bye to episode 2. Yeah, then we can say bye bye to episode 2, and in our next episode we will look at the other stuff. So run, go to define yourself in your unique way. After defining ourselves, we would get started, and then we'll have create an account. It's just 3 screens, but a lot of underlining implementations, and that is the beauty of this. Unfortunately, users only see the outputs. They don't see the processes you go through or the process you go through to build that outputs. But at the end of the day, we enjoy what we do. and they also, one way or the other, appreciate what we do. Yeah, so guys, that is that for this particular episode. That is that for episode 2. I am going to see you in episode 3. Then I would want you to subscribe. Don't forget, subscribe again. Don't forget, and subscribe again, so that anytime I go live, you would be the first to get that notification.